Welcome back to a brand new episode of Charm City Beat. The 53-man roster has been set, and we are going to dive into who got cut, who got possibly potentially could be saved, and we're going to go from there and also talk a little bit of Orioles news. So, lots of cuts. A lot of guys dropped. How did we lose Caillou Kelly?
We cut him.
We did. Wow, I actually thought he was going to be around too. That's disappointing. Seattle got him.
I just kept seeing him get burned.
Yeah, we got.
I looked up, I was like, "Up, there's 17, not doing good." That's how he's supposed to play, or not. He wasn't playing here good. So,
Anthony Brown got waived, put back on the practice squad. I'm not gonna lie, he didn't really impress me much this preseason.
He's the arm they know that's to have him around. I mean, we'll talk about the other quarterback who most likely be ahead of him later, but he's just a quarterback they know. Yeah. Doesn't hurt to have him run their practice team.
Doesn't hurt to.
Yeah. He doesn't have to impress anyone in practice. He's just there.
Of course, on the list, James Prochet.
Yeah, I'd have to bring him up. It's just what it is. I mean, I feel like he was always a big. Even usually he had a really good preseason. This year he struggled in preseason.
Yeah, even this year
it's a very crowded room. Then they signed OBJ and drafted Flowers to writing on the wall.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. Like he got outplayed in preseason, and it's just one of those things where what could have been, really he had some big chances to really take advantage. He never did.
No, I mean he was getting outplayed by undrafted rookies that were on the team this year. So
not really.
He wasn't really even in competition for sixth at one point.
Yeah, you kind of knew it was over when they took his number. Like at that point, it's like, all right, if I gotta switch numbers, they don't give a shit about me.
That was only his third number with us.
That's what's wild.
And fun enough, when he changed that number, like, yeah, you might lose that soon when Hopkins comes here.
Oh my god!
I'm a little sad to see Travis McCulloch go away, the tight end. Like he was from Nebraska. I mean, obviously,
got him on the practice squad.
Yeah, he'll go to the practice squad.
Surprisingly, he got on our practice squad after his preseason.
And he might get picked up still, but I feel like it's just a crowded room with Andrews and Likely and Collar, and I think the card is in that converation now because he's not really playing.
You all owe him an apology.
I don't know him shit.
Yeah, he's
not making. We last time I checked, we're still the Ravens. We still run the ball. You can't have a problem with a 300-pound guy that moves as swift as he does. That's all the linebackers are getting his way.
Mm-hmm.
I am curious though to see how often he's like a healthy scratch or something. I'm curious what his role is on this team because he's not a starting lineman and he's not a starting tight end. He's not it's like the numbers game's gonna get him, I think, at some point, especially if we have any more injuries. But he's a pretty awesome player, and I think there's gonna be a game probably in like this late December, early January, the playoffs, where they have like a Ricard play in line where he's that sixth lineman at the goal line and they gotta count for him. He's just run.
I can see that.
I'm honestly, I don't know how Ben Mason keeps making this practice squad. He's just been kind of there.
How old is he?
I don't know.
Like,
I remember when we drafted him, we got rid of him. He left. He came back.
Jeez.
He's not old enough to be a veteran practice squad player. Pretty sure he's just a normal one right now.
Christian Welsh. I remember him playing last season.
Yeah, a lot of people were surprised he got cut because everyone said he was a Harbaugh guy. He was one of those guys like, why is he there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, they drafted a linebacker in the third round, and I just feel like you can't have that many linebackers on a team, and you've got depth at corner to consider.
Yeah.
And, you're just, I think, yeah, I mean, there's other people, unfortunately. It's a numbers game at some point.
Yep.
Well, unfortunately for me, they did not keep Demarius from Maryland, somehow Seth Ryan beat him, I would have figured the Tampa game would have done something to show that, maybe we should keep this guy around.
Yeah.
Because Seth Ryan disappeared after his first game. But there's just something with Ravens and Maryland receivers. They just don't work. I got to see both Maryland receivers in the last preseason game. I was like, oh yeah, I wanted him, but he went to the Bucks. We got our guy, but now we don't.
We do not have any Maryland receivers. Unfortunately. Yeah. Terminated a few contracts. Melvin Gordon gone. Josh Johnson gone.
He's a wink, wink, nudge, nudge. He'll be back.
I never want to hear that ever come out of your mouth.
Well, it's like I said, out of this list, him.
I don't know why. It just sounded crazy.
Him, Kevin Seymour, and Brett Urban, who we did the same thing last year.
No, it's Brent. No.
They did the same thing last year, Gerald. Pay attention. And guess what? They basically said, hey, we're cutting you, but you'll be back after we put these guys on the IR. And he was with us the whole year. We have guys going on the IR.
That's true.
Mitchell, the running back, probably might start the year on the IR. The local Ham, the local kid who made the team, he'll probably start the year on the IR. And there's a chance that if Josh Johnson's coming back, Huntley hasn't played since the first preseason game?
Has it been injured?
He's had the hamstring.
No.
I also heard that Monken loves Josh Johnson, and doesn't like Huntley as much. I mean, that was what reported on the Athletic. Is rumor, I guess, but I think there's probably some smoke and fire there. Like I think he just likes Josh Johnson's game a little more. Huntley just has so much experience, playoff experience, Pro Bowl. Like, I mean, he wouldn't last long if he was cut. And a lot of teams going to say, I think you don't cut something like that, you deal them.
Yeah.
So pretty much, I think he's just the Ravens might carry 3 quarterbacks this year again. One will be a healthy scratch a couple times.
Wasn't there? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, especially, hate to say it, history. It's like keep fucking 3 because. I
mean, I don't know. I know there's a new rule you can have an emergency quarterback. I don't know how that plays into this now.
Yeah,
but I mean, if they're trying to bring Josh Johnson back, there's a chance Huntley might be starting a year on the IR scheduled to return.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we don't need these guys this year. It's such an annoying, exhausting narrative that it has not been. It's been a thing since 2020 when Lamar got COVID and Thanksgiving.
Yeah, like if you just have like a stress-free year, probably not.
For being how thin a cornerback we are, we did get rid of
we've got a rack of cornerbacks.
And only one of them is a wink to come back, and that's Keon Seymour. I mean, we got Humphrey coming back maybe week 2. I don't know.
That's wild.
But I just feel like I feel cornerback is starting to become our new wide receiver in the draft. Because they've showed a picture of the last few we've taken, and none of them really. The most impressive cornerback we've taken, as the thing said, was Brandon Stevens, who we drafted as a safety.
Yeah, I feel like we haven't hit on corner in the middle rounds, and that's where you really get your good depth corners since like Avery. So they're just not hitting on those draft picks right now, and that's killing them.
No, I mean, Caillou we lost. Pepe and Jalen there seem to always be hurt now. I mean, Sean Wade, we ended up trading. Yeah. Whatever we did with him. Like I said, Brandon Stevens, we drafted as a safety. And he's fine when he plays there, but I don't want to see him in press coverage again. He just gets turned around like a top.
I am excited about the Mitchell pickup. I think Melvin Gordon is just the same back as Gus and Dobbins, and you don't need that. Mitchell's quite fast, and he plays special teams. And we saw him returning kicks in the preseason.
I didn't even have to see it play. I knew as soon as Melvin Gordon got signed, I was like, he is not making this team. They signed him more or less like, hey, JK, look, we'll sign this guy. Okay. That didn't scare me. It was Mitchell going off in the preseason that made Jakey go, hold on now.
And I think Melvin does find a team. I think he put himself on tape. He ran well, I thought, in preseason. Not great, but better than most veteran backs that are sitting on the market right now.
And let's not remember, though, he ended last season on a practice squad.
Touche, salesman. Touche.
Hey, he got paid to be in the NFL, so at the end of it,
He got paid and got a ring. He was on Chiefs practice squad.
and you have to do shit. That's awesome. Literally, that's crazy. No, um yeah, so the streak is over. Like we can finally just it's been a couple weeks since we've recorded, but just done with this streak. I just feel like it's just always just annoying umbrella that we don't really give a shit about, but somehow slightly do. It's
we had to care, Gerald. We were running real plays against the Commanders.
oh yeah, like and in that argument because I saw that tweet and I'm just like, what the fuck?
They're out here running RPOs. But what do you want us to do?
That's what we do.
Do you not want your first team, who barely beat the second team, by the way,
Yeah,
to go against? All right, we're gonna drop back and run. No, we're running our playbook.
yeah. I'm sorry, you have
Just because our starters aren't out there, we have players out there that are gonna be playing.
Yeah,
They need to know the playbook.
Yeah, I agree. But
That's what the preseason's for.
it's ridiculous. I'm actually happy the Ravens were so conservative with their players this year. Even like an Isaiah Likely was nowhere to be seen on that football field. And I feel like it's just the Ravens understanding that it's a game of attrition. It's a game of who's last standing, and you know, it's what's a series in mid-August going to help anybody on this club. I
yeah.
think they got way more out of that Redskins mini camp than they were ever going to get out of playing Mark Andrews for a freaking series. It's stupid. I think J.K. Dobbins has shown us what an injury in preseason can do to a team, both from a standpoint of personnel, but also momentum and all that stuff that goes with it. Like I feel like the Ravens season was over before it began the day that J.K. Dobbins went down in that preseason game 2 years ago.
I will say, there were a lot more starters playing in the preseason this year than there have. That could be the fact of starting to realize, we normally come out flat those first few games. Is it going to do anything? No. Luckily, we have Houston, which hopefully should be our preseason game. That's the benefit for us. They could be without 3 offensive linemen. They got a quarterback. Do you want to go back and look at quarterbacks against us in Baltimore?
14-2 all time against rookie quarterbacks under John Harbaugh.
I saw some tweet thing today. Some guy on Twitter today was going off how showing clips of Ravens sucking. Like, I can't wait for week 1. Everyone's like, why don't you show clips when we played Houston? Well, only 3 players are left from those teams. Have you asked Kyler Murray how weak the first game against Baltimore at Baltimore was? It doesn't go well at home.
What's the Ravens opener? It's like they're like the Orioles at home on opening day. Like it's just stupid stats.
Even last year with us losing, have they not seen Lamar goes off week 1?
Yeah. It's hot. It's hot weather. He loves that warm weather.
But
No,
I feel bad for Stroud. Who was named the starter.
I'm just excited to see Ojabo finally, and I think this is going to be a great game for him just to go off. A great game for Oweh to finally show, hey, are you here or are you not? So it's going to be. I'm really going to be looking at that front seven. Oh my god, it's going to be insane.
I think it's also interesting that the Ravens, I think for the first time in a very long time, are getting veterans around this team. Like for the longest time, it was like Mark Andrews was like the leader of the pack, and as good as he is, that's not you need like an Ed Reed or a Yoda and a Ray Lewis. So they got OBJ. They have Clowney, who at the very least has like an aura about him because he was, it's Javadian Clowney. Like he's gonna make people you see his name on the field. All of a sudden, Oweh's not getting double covered anymore. He was last year because we didn't have anybody else that. I just think it's awesome. Roquan Smith, you've got these guys that have clout around the NFL, and I think it establishes a bit of a swagger coming out of that tunnel, which I'm excited for.
Oh, yeah, those tunnel introductions, no matter what offense or defense, are going to be stacked this year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, offense is going to have OBJ, Dobbins, Lamar call coming out the end. Defense got Roquan, PQ.
Yeah.
Eventually, we'll have Bowser.
He is on the physically unable to play list.
Him, Nick
Nice.
Moore.
Who else is on there? Nick Moore, Andrew Voorhees. That's a no, Avi.
Yeah.
Nick Moore's done for the year, though. I think he
the
tore-
bottom. Yeah, Tyus is the only one that could come. He's the only one on the non-football injury list that they're expected to come back. Moore and Voorhees are both done. I mean, drafting Voorhees we knew that when he drafted him.
Yeah. Yeah. So that'll be interesting. It's just 53-man roster is wrapped up. Let's move across. Raven, let's talk about the Orioles for a second. Bautista injured. What do we know about
Yeah, you hear that UCL injury even partially torn. I don't think he's coming back this year.
Oh,
My gut. It hurts. I must say it, but the risk is not worth the reward as
yeah.
far as throwing. Maybe he'll come back in October. Is he even be the same pitcher if he does? I mean, and my gut feeling is that come October, which is amazing, we're going. They're gonna put Grayson Rodriguez, John Means, Wells, all in the bullpen. And you're just gonna have these really quality, strong, young arms out there because of pitch limits, essentially. And then they're
Mhm.
gonna roll a rotation of Bradish, Kramer, Gibson, and Flaherty. And that's gonna be a rotation, and let's roll some dice.
Yeah.
If Flaherty can not have a potential tantrum and need a week off, at that point, pitch eliminate. I'd still rather have Grayson out there than Flaherty.
I mean, talent wise, no doubt. I think Grayson's already hit his pitch limit. And so what 2 more months of baseball, I feel like he can manage his innings a little better. Maybe they'll treat him like an opener. It's interesting though. But Grayson sure looked good last night.
Better than Gibson did today.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I mean, right now they're sitting at 7-3 in their last 10 games, and they've been in first place since July 23rd. Like, wow. But they've also not had more than a 3-game lead on Tampa this whole time. I mean, like you said, it's just insane to know without a doubt we're in October. Like that's going down. Again, absolutely insane. It's been so long. You talk about act like you've been here before. Well, we really haven't. Not at least in a long time. But yeah, it's just exciting baseball is being played in Baltimore right now. And you can tell by the fan base is showing up. You know, it's just an exciting time to be an Orioles fan right now.
September, Adam Jones comes back, retires.
Mm-hmm.
It's an Oriole.
Can't wait for that. That's gonna be
Of course, funny thing about it is I saw someone say that game's on Apple TV that night.
Of course.
I'm going to that one, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to that. That's
Tampa Bay too.
Now y'all want to go back games. I can't go to that.
Shit. Are you serious? That's
it's
man.
it's called work. Told you the days I can go to games.
That's
Friday
how,
night.
that's how you should feel about week 1. It's called work. It sucks.
You work excuse too many times now.
Because I work for Verizon. They don't care about Sundays. Oh man. But no, it's gonna be it's gonna be great. Adam Jones retiring. I mean, he's kind of really honestly the one that got me back into baseball back when I was in college. He really just made the game exciting. So I without it, I have to be there. I gave my grandfather, I remember actually giving my grandfather the Adam Jones giveaway jersey that they had one night because he couldn't go to the game. But I felt, oh man, it's so exciting.
Yeah, he was like one of the faces of baseball during his height. And when the Orioles was really good in like 2014, 2016, Adam Jones was as big a ball player as anyone in baseball. And I feel like he's like not in the Hall of Fame, but like the Hall of really good.
Mhm.
he might go down as one of the greatest, if not the best Orioles center fielder we ever had. It's all debatable, obviously, but I think his numbers support that. And so like, it's gonna be really fun to see him, and I think it's gonna be one of those games where we're playing Tampa,
Mhm.
so hopefully it like just builds a ballpark energy up,
Actually,
and we can
who
carry it
knows where the
over because
stands will be then.
Yeah.
every W is going to be huge down the stretch.
Yeah. That's it. So, again, we'll be back obviously next week to talk about week 1 of the Ravens. It's got to be awesome. Any last thoughts, Ross?
No, not really. Yeah, I got nothing.
All right, Jordan.
I guess the Orioles won their 83rd game on August 29th this year, which with 30 games to go, they won 83 games all of last year. Put that in perspective. This is a really special club we're looking at, and
Yeah.
I'm hoping that that momentum carries over to the Ravens side of the house, and you just got 2 winning ball clubs this year. I think Baltimore really deserves it. It's great for the city, and it's really fun to be talking about things not John Angelo's, you know?
Yeah.
Let's not mention what he
We
did
don't.
to between the last time we talked. He opened his stupid mouth again.
Yeah, we're gonna end on a nice note. Yeah.
Well,
53-man roster.
nice note is anyone who bet the over for the Orioles win total has already cashed out.
All right.
I saw something. They're one of the 2 teams that mathematically cannot lose as many games to get to the win total as Fangraphs predicted. They've already passed it.
Wow.
Well, everyone thought we were
Amazing.
gonna suck. Good fucking one guy went out and we're not a first place. We're still in first place.
Yeah,
Everyone's
it's undeniable.
Tanner's on fire.
Yeah.
Gunner's hot.
We got a lot of season left with those. Exciting season ahead for the Ravens. 53-man rosters locked up. Game ball to all 53 guys that made the team. You know, awesome. Great work in training camp. We'll give it to you. But that does it for our show tonight. Don't forget to like and subscribe and stay tuned. Take care.